You look lovely.
Thank you, so do you.
Before we get into it,
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Yeah, so let me explain what kind of weird shit I'm up to. By stacking ward gained when you create shadows, along with using smoke bomb and shift to create them, you get infinite ward. You can even start pumping out ward and bringing this stupid shit with you to a monolith, as long as your computer can handle it mayo. This is obviously an exploit though, but still this build absolutely nukes everything in its path. I use this build to speed level my way to level 100, crushing 400 corruption monoliths as I was leveling up. Oh, and it doesn't require any uniques at all, so you can start playing this amazing build right away. Awesome, huh? Yeah? So if we ignore the infinite ward for a second, what else makes this build amazing? For starters, the combination to use smoke bomb and shift makes us immortal. When these abilities are combined with cooldown reduction, they grant us permanent dodges as well as invulnerability. They are also what creates shadows. Smoke bomb creating a shadow every second, as well as shift creating one every 2.5 seconds. When it comes to damage, the build nukes the entire screen using Shadow Falcons and Dive Bomb. Dive Bomb is absolutely busted in itself, but when combined with a shit ton of shadows, it easily nukes everything around you. With pretty suboptimal gear, mine are hitting for up to 2 million damage. Oh, and by the way, you get 5 dive bombs every time you press it. To reset our abilities and to stack more damage, we also have Explosive Trap, where each Explosive Trap both buffs our Falcon as well as reduces its cooldowns. Let's see how the build works in action. By bashing your head on the keyboard as hard as possible, you can press all of your abilities with ease. Yeah, it's that simple. You want to press your buttons as often as possible, using Shift for mobility and defensives, Smoke Bomb on your enemies and your Falcon skills, as well as Explosive Trap whenever you see something you want to nuke from existence. Wow, great job, friends. You now have everything you need to play this build. Ha, just kidding, fam. Let's take a look at the skills and specializations. First, we have the Explosive Trap. We have 1 skill point in Ash Compartment as a placeholder for some extra dam. To nuke the entire screen, we take 3 points into Trinker's design. Minefield grants us more explosive traps, and Trap Sprinkler grants us yet more explosive traps. We then want, yeah, you guessed correctly, even more traps. Now, if you're still leveling up, this is where you want to end up as fast as possible. Blast Rain makes the traps drop from the sky instead, making them not dog shit. On top of that, we can trigger them instantly via Impact Trigger. We then have 2 passives here to reduce the mana cost, and we then head on over to the other 2 important skill points. First is Sky Signal. By using this, we can stack physical penetration for our Falcon unlimited amounts of times. We also grab Free Lofting Bird here, which is how we reset its cooldowns. Let's take a look at Shift now. This skill is busted for defensiveness. While Aerial Assault may grant us more mobility, we need Shift to not fucking die El Mao. We pick up these skill points for some self-healing and also grab Rebound in case we get nuked and need to reset Shift. We then have Velocity to reduce its cooldown and momentum to become fast as fuckboy. Lasting Presence is extremely important here as it spawns a shadow for us every time we use Shift. This both grants us big dam as well as more ward. We then pick Swift Recovery for some mana regen. Shadow Slip is absolutely busted as well, making us invulnerable every time we use Shift. Absolutely perfect for dodging shitty mechanics, as we can just shift through them. And lastly, we have Elusive, allowing us to stack up a ton of dodge right after we use Shift. Next, we have our Falconry, necessary to actually use Falcon skills, but also hecking busted. I have some extra Falcon skills. If you don't, however, then you can just delete some damage skill points. All right. First, we have Falconer's Mark. Whenever our Falcon hits enemies with Falcon strikes or from other hits, it buffs our damage. Sure neat, but we're basically the Falconer's cuck by this point, and this is what we actually want. By using Avian Arsenal, we can buff our Falcon. This buff stacks with increased bow damage in this build, which is absolutely bonkers. We also pick up Wake of Wings, mainly to be, you guessed it, fast as fuck boy. To grant our Falcon some more damage, we pick up Falconer's Journey, allowing it to stack with dexterity. For yet more damage, we grab Is It a Bird and Agile Prey. We then grab Avian Stamina for more Falcon strikes, as well as Hunter's Spoil for some health and mana regen. Bird of Prey feels so goddamn good on bosses, Arnold can't control himself the slightest.
So I'm coming day and night.
It instantly kills them when they're below 16%. Hecking nice, yeah. We also have Blood Dance, which is great for deleting entire screens of enemies. We then head down here, pick up Side by Side so we can get the good skill points, and grab Trained to Hunt. This allows us to buff our Falcon damage, which we do by stacking more bow damage. The same works with Go for the Eyes and Exposed Weakness, just by crit chance and crit damage. Next, we have Smoke Bomb. It's this ability that spawns this giant fart cloud. The most important skill points are down here. Umbral Assault lets us spawn a shadow every second and have up to 3 shadows up at a single time. When we have this, we can grab all the skill points up here for some extra defensives and bigger smoke bombs. We also pick up Eroding Fumes for some armor shred and Smokescreen Arrow so that we can use the smoke bomb wherever we want. After that, we go down here to stack some more defensives and pick up Moonlight Bomb, a great skill, giving us free dodges. And lastly, the Nuke, aka Dive Bomb. The skill points here is what allows us to keep up our smoke bombs permanently. We use 4 points in Wings of Shadow to nuke the 3 shadows from Smoke Bomb as well as the one from Shift. We then want Dancing Shadows for yet more dive bombs. But now you're probably thinking, this doesn't say anything about keeping up Smoke Bomb. And you're goddamn right, but check this out. Cloud Gatherer makes it so that all of these Shadow Falcons that keep nuking the screens extend the duration of Smoke Bomb. And voila, you now have unlimited Smoke Bombs summoning shadows and granting you ward. All right. And what about the rest of the skill points then? Well, they are not that interesting and simply grants us 3 things: damage, cooldown reduction, and some extra mana. It can also reset our shift, which is pretty nice. So grab those as well. Oh wait, no, not this guy again.
Subscribe to the fucking channel.
Yeah, do it, ye legend. Now let's check out the gear that we are looking for. Firstly, you're going to want to stack as much defensives as possible. Make sure that you're capped out on your resistances with at least 75% of each. I'm currently rocking the Giga Chad route, though Kuz I don't give a shit. You also want to reach the critical strike avoidance cap of 100%. Other than that, you grab whatever defensives you can find. Health and hybrid health is especially good in this build, as we have a ton of self-healing from our passives. To gain ward, you want to make sure to grab ward gained when you create shadows. You can get this on your helmet, chest, and in the idols. Also, grab ward decay threshold and ward retention wherever you can find it. Also, make sure to grab movement speed and cooldown reduction wherever you can find it, as we want to be fast as fuck. Let's take a look at the more interesting stats now, the stats that grant you big damn. Here, we want to stack minion damage, bow damage, as well as damage by shadows. Also make sure to get crit chance and crit damage whenever you can. Armor shred is also decent for the idols whenever you can pair it with ward gain or bow damage. The highest damage bonus you can get is from the implicits, however. If you manage to find a chest or helmet with base meal damage from your Falcon on it that hasn't got dogshit prefixes or suffixes, then use it for fuck's sake. The best unique that you can find here is Talons of Valor. So make sure to get some bow prophecies or buy it, as it's absolutely goddamn busted. It's also crucial that you get some mana regeneration, at least over 50%. Otherwise, this build feels painful. Goddamn, my friends, we're almost done now. Take a stretch, chillax for a sec, and we'll hold hands and blast through the passives together. Let's start with the rogue passives. Here we're grabbing Steady Hand and Guile for defensives, and then we pick up Evasion. This skill is amazing, granting us 25% extra dodge, but also reduced damage taken as we move, and we'll be moving constantly. We also pick up Agility here for the extra movement speed. We also get increased damage when we have more movement speed, which is hecking nice. After grabbing these 20 points, we can start splurging in the Falconer tree. We max out Wilderness Scout for defensives and Handler for Big Dam. We then have Stamina of the Rover for defensives and Ranger's Mark for, Big Dam. Whenever we hit enemies with our explosive traps, this passive grants our Falconer extra damage. We only need 1 point, however, as the buff doesn't scale with more points. Down here, we also get more base damage for our Falcon, which is perfect. Base damage is the most busted thing in this game if you didn't know this by now. We then pick up Coordinated Fade for increased survivability and Evasion Tactics for some dexterity and defensives. Our Falcon gets meal damage from dexterity, so stacking as much as possible is the way to go. After that, we want Intuitive Connection so that we don't have to wait for our abilities, and we also want Relentless Talons for Big Dam. After that, we have Needle-like Precision for, this is getting self-explanatory, for Big Dam, of course. To get extra glancing blows, we have Poise, and we have Stymphalian Feathers, so that we can gain extra armor whenever we stack dexterity. I'm currently only 98, but I'll grab more points here when I level up. And lastly, we grab Finesse them to more easily hit the crit avoidance cap and Tailwind for some sick movement speed and defensives. Alright, let's head on over to the marksman's skills now. Here we're grabbing Draining Arrows for mad attack speed as well as some self-healing. We then finish the build by going to the Blade Dancer skills, grabbing Cloak of Shadows for dexterity and glancing blows, and finish with Skia Synthesis for huge self-healing as well as damage from our shadows. Well, shit, son. That's my last Epoch video done on this channel. Drop some feedback in the comments if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.